And welcome back into another edition of Key Time Sports. It is Key Time coming back to talk about Game 6 of the Western Conference semifinals between the OKC Thunder and Denver Nuggets, and also Game 6 for tonight between the Boston Celtics and the New York Knicks. If you are a sports fan out there, no matter what sport you are watching, you love what season that we are in right now. So, the first game I'm going to cover is the Thunder and Nuggets. Last night, Denver, they did what they had to do. They held serve at home, forced a game 6 back in Oklahoma on Saturday night. So now we see where the statistics for both of these teams come into play, and it pretty much was a nip and tuck game for the first 3 quarters, and then the Denver Nuggets pretty much took over the last 8 minutes of the fourth quarter. Now, Chet Holmgren, he had 19 points. Jalen Williams had 6. Isaiah Hartenstein had 8. Shea Gillis Alexander had 32. Lugaz Dort had 10. Bench production for the Thunder: Jalen Williams, 8. Dylan Jones, Kwame Dean, 0 points each. Alex Caruso, 10. Isaiah Joe and Aaron Wiggins, 2 points each. Cason Wallace, 10 points. AJ Mitchell, 0 points. Kenrick Williams did not play because of coach's decision. Now that is for the Thunder. The Denver Nuggets, last night they did what they had to do. They had critical contributions from most of their secondary players. Aaron Gordon, he played 38 minutes, only scored 5 points. They are gonna need a big game from him in Game 7. Michael Porter Jr., he has had a shooting slump all season and basically for the last 2 years. So, what can you expect from Michael Porter Jr.? Almost nothing nowadays. Nikola Jokic, 29 points. Jamal Murray, 25 points. Christian Braun, 23 points. Bench production for the Nuggets: Peyton Watson, 4 points. Russell Westbrook, 8 points. Julian Swather, 15 points. Now, for Game 7, I'm expecting Jamal Murray to live up to his nickname, Jamal Flamethrower Murray, as I like to call him, because he had an efficient game last night, 9 of 19. Then you had Nikola Jokic, 9 of 14. So, but they need two other players outside of Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray to shoulder the load for the Denver Nuggets. Now, OKC Thunder, they've had the advantage all series when it comes to bench production. That's one thing, America. Focus. Stay with me. So, advantages for Game 7: Oklahoma City Thunder is at home, and bench production, OKC Thunder has that. The Denver Nuggets, what have I said all season that Denver Nuggets have problems with? They have problems with consistent bench production. They don't have a 5-man rotation like the Oklahoma City Thunder. They don't have a 5-man rotation. So one thing about the Denver Nuggets, they are gonna have a problem in Game 7 trying to neutralize. And I'm gonna tell you, Denver Nuggets, they are gonna have a problem trying to neutralize Shea Gillis Alexander, Chet Holmgren, Lugaz Dort, and the players that come off the bench, especially Jalen Williams. Now, Jalen Williams, he has had some big games in Game 7s over the past few years with other teams. Can OKC win Game 7? Yes, they should. They should win Game 7. But it is not going to be an easy task. Now, one thing I can say: last night, Denver, they was fortunate enough to win last night because they had 16 turnovers last night. Oklahoma only had 11. So I predicted that the Thunder would win this series in six, possibly a seven. It's going to a seventh game. And as of right now, the Thunder, they are slight favorites. Yes, they are slight favorites in their game seven, in their game seven contest. They are the Thunder are a 7.5 point favorite, and dang, dang that game come on so early. It comes on at 3:30 tomorrow afternoon, everybody. So I think that it should be a little bit later, but schedule makers, they have different ideas. So back to what I was saying about the Nuggets and Thunder. Game 7, if I'm the head coach of the Thunder and the Nuggets, I'm throwing away all of the playbooks. I'm throwing away all the schematics. And I'm just going to tell my guys, I'm just going to look at my top guys from a Denver Nuggets perspective. Jokic, Murray, it's game 7. I need you to ball the hell out. And that's exactly what I would be saying to the Thunder players. Shea Gillis Alexander, I need you to ball out for me. It's a game 7. You already know what you got to do. Go out there and beat this team to oblivion and send them back to the Mile High City where they belong. That is what I would be saying if I was the head coach of either of these teams. So the winner of this game 7 will play the Minnesota Timberwolves. Now, the Minnesota Timberwolves, and either one of these teams, it is going to be a 7 game series too, because we already know Anthony Edwards. He talk a whole lot of trash, but he back what he says up. So that's why that's a confident brother over there in Minnesota. So Oklahoma, if you win, you got to be focused on this confident brother in Minnesota, and he has a big supporting cast. There are well, excuse me, not five, but 7 players that can come off the bench for the Minnesota Timberwolves and put up double figures like it ain't nothing. That is why I say that the OKC Thunder and Minnesota Timberwolves measure up. Bench production even with the Thunder and Timberwolves. Denver Nuggets and Minnesota's bench production. Advantage Minnesota. So game 7, this is going to be a very interesting game. I am going to cover that game because this is the right to go to the Western Conference Finals. And now, hey, Denver, like I said, even though that Denver is on the road, anything can happen in a game 7. You could have a player go 12 of 25 from the floor and lose, or you can have a player go 6 or 6 from the 3-point line and y'all win the game. So game 7, anything can happen in a game 7, and you do not want to miss it. Now, the next game I'm going to cover is the Boston Celtics tonight's game. The Boston Celtics and the New York Knicks. Now, the New York Knicks are a slight, and I do mean a slight favorite at 2.5 point favorite according to ESPN Sports Bet. If I'm the Knicks, I got to close out the series tonight. I do, because if the Celtics win Game 6, they've won the series. Because Game 7 will be played Sunday night, and I'm going to tell you, the Knicks rest is critical for the Knicks right now, because you have Jaylen Brown to think about, you got OG Anunoby to think about, you got Mikal Bridges to think about. You need all of your top 5 guys, if you are the New York Knicks, to have some rest before you face well before you potentially face the Indiana Pacers, because the Indiana Pacers, they are going to stretch you out nine throughout the entirety of the basketball floor. Four lines and 94 feet. That's what it's going to be. And as far as the Celtics, one thing that they can do is they coming into this game backs up against the wall. Everybody is predicting them to lose. If I'm Joe Mazzulla, I'm telling my players, guys, we can come into this game all willy nilly. Now, I mean, when I say willy nilly, I mean come in all loose and stuff, because the pressure is on the Knicks to close out the Celtics tonight. And if they don't, I don't want to hear nothing from any New York Knicks fan about, well, we had our chances to win this game, but we didn't step up to the plate. You had a chance to step up to the plate in Game 5, and you blew that. And don't let it happen tonight, because if it happened tonight, then Game 7, Boston is gonna win that no matter what. So the Knicks, please, please win Game 6, or else when I come in here on Monday, you are not you ain't no Knicks fan gonna want to see my show Monday, because I am going to drag the Knicks fans through the mud. And the main person I'm going to be talking about is the man that you see on the screen right now that is talking, Stephen A. Smith. Oh my goodness. He always talked trash about the Dallas Cowboys. Well, I'm gonna talk trash about his New York Knicks. Mr. 1973, last time the Knicks won an NBA championship. That's 52 years. He about 50 his damn self. So, hey, that one thing, Stephen A. You talk trash about the Cowboys. I got to talk trash about the Knicks. So, all in all, tonight it is going to be an interesting game. And one thing about it, for scheduling purposes, the Eastern Conference and the Western Conference finals will start late next week. I'm not totally sure what day, but I will give you all the entirety of the schedule for both the Western Conference finals and the Eastern Conference finals. But first, we got to see who gonna play, because we got the Indiana Pacers waiting on whoever they play between the Celtics and the Knicks. And we also got the Timberwolves waiting to see who they are going to play, whether it's the Denver Nuggets or the OKC Thunder. The final four teams are going to battle it out for a chance to go to the NBA Finals. And with that, those are my reactions to last night's Nuggets Thunder game and my prediction for tonight's game between the Boston Celtics and the New York Knicks. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, click the notification bell to get notified of all of my reaction videos and content. Yes, I know that this was a short show today, but I only had to talk about two games today. So that's why I say when we get to the conference finals round, it is going to be just nothing but playoff experienced players, because a lot of the players on all four of these teams, a lot of them have had playoff experience in the conference final round. So there will be no jitters. There will be no jitters from players. Now, New York Knicks, you already know what I'm expecting from the New York Knicks. They don't have enough bench players, and I'm expecting the New York Knicks to fall flat on their face if they get to the Eastern Conference Finals. As far as for Indiana, it has been since 2000, 2000 since they've been in the NBA Finals. Boston Celtics, last year they made it to the NBA Finals. And we already know that they are the defending champion. Minnesota has never been to the NBA Finals ever in their history. The closest they've ever gotten to the NBA Finals was the Western Conference Finals, and that was back in 2004. I'm not gonna bore y'all to death with how long 2004 was, but I'm gonna tell you the iPhone wasn't invented yet, and y'all go back and look at the history for 2004. Now, last team on this list, Denver Nuggets. They have, well, excuse me, last two teams on this list. The Denver Nuggets. They have championship experience. They won the championship a couple years ago in 23. So most of those players from that championship team have been traded and they are gone. For the final team, the Thunder, now they have a young up and coming team, the third youngest team in the NBA. Last time the Thunder was in the conference finals was 2016, and we all know what happened there. So let's see how the playoff cycle is going to finish. Who will the NBA Finals who will be in the NBA Finals? The matchup I'm looking forward to is out of these Final Four teams. I'm looking for I'm looking for the Indiana Pacers to get there, and I'm looking for the OKC Thunder to get there. Now, I'm pretty sure a lot of people gonna say why that matchup? Because you're dealing with two you're dealing with two sports markets that really doesn't get a lot of nationally televised games throughout the season. And also the Indiana Pacers, they've been at this stage before just last year in the Eastern Conference Finals where they really didn't have a puncher's chance at winning the Eastern Conference Finals over the Celtics. Now they get back. Now they get back to the Eastern Conference Finals, and now they await who is going to be playing, whether it's the Celtics or the Knicks, and for the Oklahoma City Thunder. I could just say, man, Oklahoma City Thunder, you've been here. You've been to this stage before. You was with this stage in the Kevin Durant era, and you failed to win a championship. You were almost in this position last year, and you failed to get to the conference finals because of Dallas. Now, the fourth time should be a charm. Now, like I said, Sam Presti, he is a great businessman. He has great business principles when it comes to negotiating draft picks for the Oklahoma City Thunder. But now it's time for us to see, can your investment and what you have done over the past, I'm going to say 7 years, pay off? That's all I want. That's all. Those are all of the questions that I have, and yeah, I'm gonna just finish the show like that. Every question for the remaining teams that are in the playoff cycle, I have a question for all of them. Can they get past their opponent that they are facing in the conference finals? We are about to see. And with that, those are my reactions to Nuggets, Thunder, and prediction for Celtics Knicks. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. Click the notification bell to get notified of all of my reaction videos, shows, and other content. And remember, one last thing, remember everybody, the key is always on time.